Pan-Africanist Congress of Azania celebrated Africa Day in the East Rand today. Joining us is the PAC President, Narias Moloto. I was just talking to Advocate Mantula earlier, and I'm saying Africa Day, wow, in which historically it's supposed to be Africa Liberation Day. Yes. How is the PAC approaching it? Look,
PAC is connected to this day. You remember that when it was formed, the Kwame Nkrumah and other leaders of Africa decided to put a date, a year, that by 1963 Africa should be free.
Yes.
Yeah. But when that was not, and 1960 was declared an Africa year.
Yeah.
Now, following that, in 1963, they still met to review the progress. But they also felt that it was necessary to form an organization that will support the liberation movement, that will review progress that has been made throughout the continent. That's when the OAU was formed.
Yes.
It was formed in order to accelerate and support the liberation struggle throughout the continent. But with that, they've also, from time to time, progress started to happen after the OAU. So 25 of May then became an Africa Liberation Day. It is the day that we begin to look back and say, are we still standing? Are we where the four founding fathers of the liberation movement in Africa wanted us to see?
Yes.
Yeah. Now the PAC today met in Tembisa. We celebrated. We basically met with the cultural groups. It was a big celebration because we are reflecting on what this day means to us as the PAC, but also as the people of South Africa and the people of Africa in general.
Well, the mandate of liberating or ensuring that the African continent is liberated, we could safely say has been achieved or has been realized. But Africa is not free.
It has partially been realized. Politically, yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
We've been politically liberated because we go to vote each 5 years.
Yeah, well, those lucky countries.
And elect the government chosen by the people themselves.
Yes.
Now, but Kwame Nkrumah himself said political liberation without economic liberation is meaningless.
Yes.
Now, the founding fathers were very clear on this issue. Now, but you'll also remember that immediately after the liberation, political freedom, then there were coups all over Africa.
Yeah.
Military regime took over. But then the African leaders made quite huge progress in terms of reversing all the coups and making sure civilians, but there's still some constraints.
Yes.
All what we are saying is that the riches, the wealth, including the land, is not in the control of the African people. That need to be dealt with. As long as we're not dealing with that issue completely and total, we will not be in control. And that is not freedom. That's not where the founding fathers of Africa wanted to see us, particularly today.
And I mean, this happens at a time when in South Africa, I mean, the buzzwords are expropriation of land, without compensation and all that.
That's a legal terminology. In the PAC, we are saying reposition of the land. You see, what has went wrong in Africa? What precipitated the African people and the founding fathers of Africa to take arms and to organize themselves to fight colonialism, to fight foreign domination, was to regain the control of their countries in total. Now, Africa is not in control of the African in totality, as I've already indicated. Now, in South Africa, we are confronted by the fact that in Parliament they are talking of expropriation of land. It's going to be trapped within in the Constitutional Court, within the legal systems. We are talking repossession because there's been dispossession.
Dr. Moloto, unfortunately, this is news. We do not have as much time, but thank you very much for having made it to come to our studios.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Alrighty.